So there are some very costly mistakes that you are making as a business owner that is really impacting your business. And Leilani, I know after reading this book, Blue Ocean Strategy, they listed 6, and it was like holding up a mirror, you said, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
All right, so let's be realistic here, guys. Brands are becoming more and more similar, right? And people are really choosing convenience and price over and over and over again.
Yep. Everybody is starting to look the same.
It is.
Right?
It is. And it is becoming a very cutthroat environment depending on the industry. No,
Sure.
actually, I dare say almost
every industry.
Yeah, every industry.
Very few pioneers out there
Yes.
right now. And
Yeah.
when they are caught up to almost within a week,
Yeah.
to be honest, with how fast technology allows us to move now.
Yeah, I agree. These are costly mistakes that you could be making in your business. I was making it in mine. And the first one is most companies are focused on being the best. It's something that we're taught since we're little, right?
Sure are, right?
Growing up in school,
You're supposed
do
to be
your
the
best,
best at
be your
school,
best. If you're
best
going
in
to play
sports.
if you're going to play sports, beat that competition, you know, all of that. And so it becomes a very competitive field or competitive environment that you're bringing into your business field. The second mistake is you're really just looking at your strategic group of being the best in your strategic group. So let me elaborate. A strategic group is best in class. So, for example, Mercedes, BMW, Jaguar, they are part of the luxury automotive class. And all 3 of them are competing against each other to be best in that luxury class.
They're watching at what each other's doing and the small changes that one makes, the other makes something very similar, and you almost can't even tell them apart from. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, and another example would be Toyota, Honda, and Kia in the economic class.
Yep.
All right. So you're just really, you always hear niche down. Okay. Well, you can niche down, but you're still competing to be best in that niche. Right.
Makes sense.
So mistake number 2. Mistake number 3 is you're focused on the same buying group. And let me elaborate again on what a buying group is. So there's typically 3 buyer groups. You have a user, you have a influencer, and then you have a purchaser. So in my company's case, is fashion accessories. We are selling to a user, that is the end consumer, because they are literally using our product. It's going on their body. A purchaser will be someone like office equipment. Okay. You're selling office equipment. So you're not really looking to get to the person who's going to be sitting their butt in the office chair. You're looking at targeting the purchaser
who's making the purchase.
Yeah, the purchaser for a major corporation. You're typically going over after purchasers for corporate. And then there's the influencer. So an influencer is someone like a pharmaceutical company. They are targeting doctors who are influencing the prescription that a customer or a patient will use. Okay.
So when you get stuck on that, that's where you can run into the rut, because you're competing against a whole bunch of others that are going after the same doctor or the same buying group or what have you.
Exactly. So let's just take the pharmaceutical company, right? So if the pharmaceutical company wanted to target a different buying group,
come after us.
They can come after us directly. And actually a very successful case study of that was Viagra, right?
They kind of turned on the emotional switch of what you get out of
make date night something, right? So that's just saying, if you decide to go after a different purchasing group, there's potential there. All right. And so then there's mistake number 4 that you potentially could be making in your business is offering the similar product or service that everyone else is offering. Hi guys, my name's Leilani. I am guilty of doing that in Be Chic. We offer jewelry. We are offering an earring, a bracelet, an anklet, whatever. We're offering a product that is similar to what other people in our division, in our industry.
Decisions sometimes based on what's trending?
Oh, yeah, of course. I'll look at the analytics and say, oh, yeah, purple is the color, right, to do. Whereas maybe if I started looking at maybe a different buying group and pair that with a different product or service. So for example, maybe I want to go after, I'm just going to throw it out there. This is things that the book invoked in me, thoughts that the book invoked in me. But let's just say I want to target a purchaser. So maybe the product I'm going to offer is going to be more towards corporate, and my corporate offering is going to be in bulk, greatly discounted with personalized little notes that
So at a
a
corporate
department
level, yes, could
they
then
could.
customize for their own customer. I feel like we read that a little bit in Pumpkin Plan,
Yes.
where he actually had a bridal jewelry or a jewelry line that niched down for the bridal market.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, yeah.
But
you had to change up who your buying group was and how you
see,
approached it.
and that's the thing in Pumpkin Plan, when he talked about that bridal group, they were still going after the same end user, which was a consumer. And this one I really like. They're talking about a different buying group altogether.
Yeah.
Someone you would not even consider as someone who would purchase it. Like if you know, another division of B Chic is we do government contracts. And the very first thing I always get is like, how did you get into government contracts selling jewelry? Well, this is a different buying group. It is at a corporate level because the government is technically a corporation, but they need jewelry, just a different form of it.
Right.
And so we started selling a different form of jewelry to them. So targeting a different group. So although I didn't know it was a mistake my company was committing that I had already faced, I already reconciled a different division to tackle them.
That makes sense.
All right.
Yeah.
But it's just something that if you're not seeing it as an obvious sign, like in the book, you're not knowing you're doing
You're not
it.
going to catch the opportunity.
So then there's number 5, right? Which is accept their industry's functional or emotional orientation.
Right.
Right. So if just to kind of build out on that, jewelry is an emotional buy.
Sure. Right.
Right.
Oh, I'm getting ready for this special occasion. I want my outfit to be perfect.
Yes.
Let me find the best blank to go with my outfit.
Yeah. Or this person's birthday's coming up. Let me get them. They like owls. So let me get them some owl jewelry.
Owls, right?
Yeah. You just.
Or my good friend loves magenta and purple. Let me find her
Can
something.
you tell? That's my favorite color, by the way.
Yeah, it's very emotional, right?
It is. It is an emotional purchase. And then something functional could be like coffee, right? Coffee serves one purpose. You drink it in the morning or whenever you need a little pick-me-up.
Get that little perk going.
Yeah, yes. And it serves that function. Whereas there is a case study of a company that broke the functional role, and that's Starbucks.
Yeah. Because you used to just, coffee shops, they were there, but it was almost more part of a diner. And it was not the environment that Starbucks is today and now replicated in so many other brands. But I've done business meetings. We do business meetings at Starbucks because it gets you out of your house or out of the office, right? You can come into a different mindset and you've in a place that feels just very comfortable, sometimes a little posh or swanky, right? Depending on how they do their aesthetic, but it's more that you feel comfortable there. And you're right. Sometimes it's crazy and busy because Starbucks can be, but I don't know. You kind of work with it.
You do. It's almost like the lounge without the booze.
Yeah.
Right.
Completely.
Yeah. It's a very nice ambience that welcomes you into that environment without judgment. And it fits so many different demographics, right? So
students go.
Yeah. So Starbucks was able to break out of just targeting or marketing only for the functional purpose of coffee. They went after the emotion. So that's number 5. Mistake number 5 that most companies make is they target one or the other. So this brings us to the last one. That's the sixth mistake that most companies are making, is that they're focused on current competitive threats. And what I mean by that is you're currently up against an obstacle, okay?
That's right in front of you.
That's right in front of you, a fire you need to put out, and it's just a big blaring signal in your face that you're like, all right, I need to formulate a strategic plan to get through this obstacle or to put out this fire. But what most companies do is they're so hyper focused on that particular issue, they're not looking 5 moves ahead like
reruns. Yeah, your next 5 moves by Patrick Bet-David. That is sometimes the pitfall for a lot of businesses is you get caught up in this immediate situation and you lose control over what happens because of the domino effect or the fallout of it.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of businesses go down just because they're so hyper focused, and they'll spend a lot of resources, dollars, and labor into putting out a fire or getting through an obstacle that they lose their business. So there's actually a case study about this, which is Apple versus Napster and LimeWire. Okay.
I love this one, right?
Yeah, because Apple, what was it? They were coming across. Well, you actually you told, we were talking about this. You
Yes.
dialogued about it a lot better.
Well, I mean, everybody. The issue was the music industry was slowly losing money when things like Napster and Kazaa and LimeWire, all these companies that were providing people what they truly wanted. And sometimes they didn't want to go buy the CD or the cassette or the album because they just wanted like 1 or 2 songs. So Apple thinks ahead, like, okay, you just want 1 song? No problem. We will get that for you. But I think the other issue was, and I remember this, you go to use something like Kazaa, and what? The quality of the recording. I think we were joking around, like you would hear dogs in the background sometimes. I don't know, like some of our episodes. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, so Apple comes along and makes it super affordable and almost too affordable, because then you're like, oh, you know what? I kind of like that song. Let me just get it too. Whereas in the past, people were having to go and buy a whole CD for just those 1 or 2 songs. And I think we were over it as consumers.
Yeah, and I like it. Apple targeted the impulsive consumer, right? And they also provided another, it was almost like a byproduct of this new creation that they did, is they were able to provide data and analytics on the songs that were helping and trending, and music artists were able to create new songs based on what was working.
Yeah, because people would get how many people get this song, because before we were, I think, limited to what the radio told us. Oh, this many people called in and requested this song, therefore this is the top Billboard top 10. So it's totally, and it's now made where I think technology is the new, I don't know, oil field, if you will.
Yeah, it is.
People want analytics and information through technology.
And I really like is that we're using the example of Apple, who was a star in another book that we read.
Start with Why.
Yes.
And I think that's where a lot, actually, I forget the number that you read into, but when companies lose sight of their why, then that's where they're not going to be able to keep track of standing out against their competition, right? They're just going to try to keep up with what their competition's doing.
That's number 4, which is offering a similar product or service like everyone else is
just
doing.
rinsing and repeating.
Yeah.
And you kind of lose yourself in it.
Yeah.
And I think we've all stepped away from brands that we had been loyal to in the past when they kind of lost their why.
Yeah.
You know, and and that's where you see companies that go out of business and fold, because they're just doing things because everybody else is doing it versus doing it something because it's authentically part of their why and their core values.
Yeah.
And we as consumers read that and see that.
Yes.
So great.
Love this.
I mean, great concise list, right?
I love
6 of
it.
them. Let's recap them.
So, okay, let's go over. And guys, when I read this, it was one of those things where I said, holy cow, I've made all 6 of these mistakes. What can I do differently? So if you're listening to this right now and you're coming across the same thing, pick up a book, Blue Ocean Strategy. They go into more depth about how you can cure those blues. All right. So the first one is, most companies focus on being the best in their industry, just the best of everything. And number 2 is they look at trying to be the best within their strategic group. Did I say 2? 2. Number 3, focus on the same buying group, whether that's a user, a purchaser, or an influencer. You're hyper focused on that same end user,
which means
or
you're
end
missing
buyer.
Out on opportunity.
Yes. And then number 4 is you guys are offering the same crap everyone else is offering. Diversify, look for gaps in the industry, and try to build out a different variety of products or services that align not only with your business, but with who you're trying to target.
And I feel like that's what we're getting into in the next episode.
Yep.
Completely.
Exactly.
Right?
So, and then number 5 is don't accept that or I should say the common mistake is that you're accepting your industry's functional or emotional orientation. Do the opposite. If you're a functional business, try to invoke emotion. If you're an emotional business, try to invoke functional, right? And then number 6 is you guys are focused on current situations or obstacles that are currently in your path. Try to look the next 5 moves ahead and see where this industry is going. What are the evolutions in business happening? Where could you stand out and get ahead of the current situation that where this could evolve to?
Love that.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining us with this. I mean, really great strategies in, blue ocean strategy, helping you get out of the rut of being stuck in a red ocean, which is your competition.
Yeah.
And coming into a blue ocean existence.
Yes.
Please, guys, like and subscribe. Hit that little bell so you know when we come out with new episodes.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Awesome.
Thanks. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers, my friend.